So this is for slides 26 to 29 in chapter 8 for qualitative data. So if I was asking you what your major is or what your opinion is on a certain social issue, that would be qualitative instead of quantitative data. So we can't really have a sample mean anymore, but we can have a population proportion. So the parameter P is unknown, the population proportion. It's kind of like mu. And so where before we had mu, now we'll have P. And before we had the sample mean, x bar, now we'll have something called P hat, the sample proportion. So we could ask, do you speak another language? Let x be the number of students who reply yes, and n be the total number of students surveyed. Then P hat could be equal to 5 out of 53, for example. Oh, looks like I changed the question to, are you left-handed? So same principle applies. 5 out of 53 are left-handed. So then what would be P hat? So I come over here and I do 5. Oh no, my calculator is malfunctioning. Okay, I'll just do it off to the side. So 5 divided by 53 gives me 0.094. So that's like 9.4%. But P hat is equal to 0.094. And then we can build a confidence interval from this information. We're trying to know, out of the entire population, what is the population proportion? And that is the decimal that represents the percentage of left-handed people in the entire population. I wonder if you can hear that fly trapped in here. Okay, so population proportion is what we're trying to create a confidence interval for. It's unknown, and the sample proportion, P hat, is the estimator. So in 8.3, we'll construct a confidence interval for P using P hat. So we'll end up with P hat minus EBP and P hat plus EBP, just like before. We need a formula for EBP, and I'm going to provide that on your notes sheet. How do you know you're dealing with a proportion problem? Because there's no mention of a mean or average. And the variable of interest is the proportion or percentage of the population that falls into a particular category. A poll for candidate for president has 40% of the vote within 3%. That would be our EBP, our error bound for the population proportion. This is our confidence level, which is 0.95, and this is P hat, the sample proportion. So the pollsters are 95% confident that the true proportion of voters would be between 0.37 and 0.43, which tells me that the EBP is 3%. And we knew that, but I can see that right here, 40% plus or minus 3%. So we'll work through this process together. To form a sample proportion, take x and divide by n. Well, we knew that. And then P hat is that proportion, x over n. All right.